Hello, and welcome back to the third part of the Steaming Through Pennsylvania series. In this part, we find ourselves in the small town of Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, watching as the Reading and Northern Mountain Job switches out cuts of loaded coal hoppers. Originally, we had meant to just pass through here on our way to Scranton, but since we saw those local working the yard, we decided to make a quick stop here. Coal is a big commodity here on the RNN, more specifically anthracite coal. Anthracite coal is a unique type of coal mined almost exclusively here in Pennsylvania. This type of coal is often used in steel mills and heating systems due to its high heat content. Plus, anthracite is also clean burning due to its low sulfur content. During the steam era, all the steam locomotives of the Reading and other anthracite hauling railroads used this type of coal as a fuel source. The only drawback was it was hard to burn, so the locomotives that used anthracite coal had to have massive fireboxes to produce larger fires to help burn the coal. After we got our fill on Tamaqua, we then made it over to Scranton to railfan the Delaware Lackawanna. The DEL is a short line that almost exclusively uses Alco diesels, and today we would be treated to 5 of those on the DL3, the NS transfer job. Also, note the 2 in the paint scheme of the previous owners. Since DL3 dipped out of sight for a little bit as it was spinning itself on the Y, we then made our way over to Steamtown USA. While we were there, we were lucky enough to see their only operating steam locomotive, Baldwin Locomotive Works number 26, get spun around on their turntable to be lined up to head out into the yard to collect its demonstration consist. Baldwin Locomotive Works number 26 was built in 1929 by its namesake company for use as a shop switcher for the erecting hall of Baldwin's Eddystone shops. 26 remained there until 1948, when it was bought by the Jackson Iron and Steel Company in Jackson, Ohio, where it remained in service until sometime in the 1970s, where it was sold off to several different owners including Jerry Joe Jacobson and the Mad River and NKP Railroad Museum. After a trade between Ohio Central 1551 and 26, the little switcher found its way over to Scranton in 1990, where it then hauled yard tour excursions alongside Canadian National 3254 and Canadian Pacific 2317. 26 then went out of service in 1999 for unknown reasons, but was brought back 16 years later in 2015 to haul Steamtown shorter excursions and has been operating ever since. Hopefully they do something with it. While exploring Steamtown, DL3 made its way through the Steamtown Depot, this time with 3642 leading. DL3642 is an interesting locomotive as it's the only Alco C636 left in the United States. C636s weren't popular locomotives due to issues with internal mechanics, plus they were heavier than other locomotives of similar size and power that EMD and GE were building at the time C636s were being produced. Nonetheless, it was quite the privilege to see this one-of-a-kind locomotive in operation. We then chased DL3 down to Norfolk Southern's Taylor Yard, where we saw the power set navigate the south end of Taylor Yard to couple up to a good-sized cut of cars to haul back to Scranton.
What? I think so.
As DL3 shoved back to Scranton, we got to see and hear in person why Alcos are called honorary steam engines. Speaking of steam engines, after touring the roundhouse at Steamtown, we saw 26 finishing up the day's demonstration runs as it creeped its way back to where its quote-unquote journey began. On that note, we decided to do the same, but not without stopping by Tamaqua again to catch the NRFF. Though disappointingly, the NRFF was only a power move due to issues with car deliveries.
Third signal, Tamaqua, main northbound.
Once we arrived back at Strasburg, we ended off our day by catching the last run of the day with 611 leading the way to and from Paradise. Thank you all for watching part 3 of the Steam Through Pennsylvania series, and be sure to stay tuned for the 4th and final part, where we see the loudest operating steam locomotive in the country.